Hi, Peter Brock here again to give you a little bit more history about the Daytona's racing over in Europe in the 1964 and 65 seasons. This was a particularly interesting photograph that the Shelby Museum in Denver used for their annual photograph. And it was interesting because we have the whole combination of cars that ran on the Tourist Trophy. This was not a race that was a particular advantage for the Daytonas because it didn't have any high-speed area where this car would be an advantage. So the Roadsters were very, very quick off the short corners there and did very well. But you have a Daytona Roadster here, we have a Daytona Coupe here, and we have the Willment Coupe here that was built by Willment, was their copy of a Daytona, built on a Daytona chassis just like ours, and it had been built by John Olson, who built the very first Daytona for us at Shelby's in late '63 and early '64. And John Olson was the crew chief on that, and of course he got burned badly at Daytona in that fire that I explained on the other photograph. So when he went back over to England after he recuperated, he built from memory the Willment car, which was probably the most raced Daytona of all the cars, even more than all the Shelby cars, because it ran everywhere. It ran in South Africa, it ran in England, a lot of club races, and has a great, great history on it. The importance of this particular race is that Lord March went to this race as a very young man. I think he was maybe 11 or 12 years old. The historical importance of this particular photograph is that it was taken on the Goodwood Circuit. And the Goodwood Circuit was privately owned by the March family. It had been allotted to them by the king much earlier in history. But there was a young boy there who eventually became the Duke of Richmond. And as a boy, he got to see the Daytonas run there. So when he grew up in 2015, he decided to honor these cars by finding them all over the world. There was one in Argentina, one in Germany, one in Japan, and 3 of them in the United States, and had them all flown in to Goodwood. And it was his honoring the Daytona Coupes running at Goodwood in this race way, way back in 1964, 65, excuse me, that gave him the impetus to have the race in 2015 and gather all the cars back together again. So that was a very interesting piece of history with the Tourist Trophy on the Goodwood Circuit with the Duke of Richmond. So if you collect Daytona history and you'd like a set of framed photographs that go with all the others that I've explained, this will make a great match for you.